in the last stream, we were working on a couple of things. We finally got our deep dark portal up and running, and at the end of the last stream, we made our cobalt pickaxe, or we upgraded our iron pickaxe to a cobalt pickaxe, and we filled it up with reinforcements so that now our pickaxe is unbreakable. And this is pretty neat, especially when combined with ore excavator, because what it means is that now if, for example, we head on through to the deep dark and we go down to a certain Y level, let's say we're looking for diamonds or redstone, we want to go down to kind of around Y level 11, what we can do is we can head on over to this big old drop that we made in the last stream that goes right through one of the pillars in the deep dark. We can kind of just fall. Our slime boots are going to save us. We do have to do a little bit of bouncing, but that is completely fine. And now that we have a pickaxe that is unbreakable, what we can do is if we hold down the excavate key, you can see I've done a bit of excavating between streams here, but if we just kind of come over here and do something like this, we can just excavate continually, kind of over and over again, finding all the ores that we like, making sure as we go, of course, to put down more torches so that we do not get hurt by the darkness. But it makes it a lot easier for us to find things like diamond ore, as well as things like redstone, you know, maybe a little bit more nickel, a little bit of gold, some iron. It makes life a whole heck of a lot easier. And of course, we no longer have to worry about repairing the tool ever. All we have to worry about is continually filling up our hunger, because that's the only thing that gets kind of depleted as we vein mine. So I think at some point, you know, if we ever need any resources, we can just come down here and grab it. You'll see I have been like just kind of not mining everything, so I don't know if we necessarily need, you know, like a ton of boron just yet, or a ton of lithium. I feel like the nuclear craft stuff is going to come a little bit further on down the line when we get into chapter 5 and all of that nuclear craft goodness. For now, though, we're kind of just on the brink of getting in to, I think, some thermal expansion. I do see, you know, a pulverizer. I see the induction smelter, phytogenic insulator, and the compactor as well up there. And I believe at the end of this questline, we are going to move over to the Land of the Sands. I've not played with the Tomb mod, so I'm interested to how this is going to play out. But our next few quests here are to make cyan antimatter and to make yellow antimatter. And the reason for this is that if we look ahead a little bit at the quest for the machine frame, of which we need to get 4, it's been tweaked a little bit. It still requires a tin gear, it still requires 4 glass, but now it requires some scandium ingots and some indium ingots, I think is how that's pronounced. So the indium ingots here are made from indium, which is made from, you guessed it, cyan antimatter. Thankfully, cyan antimatter, I think, is going to be super easy for us to make. It's made with, you guessed it, white antimatter and barium, the barium we get from nether quartz. And I believe we have done quite a bit of nether quartz deconstruction or dissolving because we've been trying to get a lot of silicon dioxide. And so I'm fairly certain we should have a ton of that over here. We have 896 barium in here. So really, we should be able to get basically as much cyan antimatter as we like. Now, before we get too invested, I do think we should maybe take a quick look and see if we can't fill up our coal generators. How are we doing on power? We got 1.7 million redstone flux, which should be fine. I think what I will do is grab some of the coal that we mined in the overworld, and I'll put like a stack in each generator here. I think that, combined with the pre-existing 1.7 million redstone flux that we have, should give us more than enough power for the remainder of today's stream. And I guess we might as well follow this questline through here and go ahead and dissolve all of that cyan antimatter. We do need, 4 of these ingots here, which is a stack of the indium. I did do a little bit more white antimatter mining between streams, and I also did a little bit more nether mining. You'll see I do have about half a stack of cobalt and half a stack of ardite. The reason for that, of course, is that we got our furnace down, or our smeltery down, I should say, in the last stream, and I think what we're going to look at today is upgrading some of our tools and upgrading to get some Tinker's armor, and I'm thinking we might make some of those out of cobalt because they're fast, and we might also make some of those out of manulin, which is a really good alloy between cobalt and an ardite. But we'll come back to that, I think, a little later on in the stream. For now, let's go ahead and run, hopefully, the final stack of cyan antimatter here. I was a little optimistic. We, in fact, need maybe like a half stack more, but I'll make a full stack here. And then in terms of making the yellow antimatter, which is used, you guessed it, to make the scandium ingots, this is white antimatter with sulfur. And sulfur, again, I think we might have a little bit of. We got 172. We can get more through blaze powder. Is there another recipe for this that we've been using? I forget. Netherrack does also give it to us. Oh, and of course, the magma blocks. We can use that as well, and we do have still a few of those, 153 up in our system there, so that might be okay. We'll take the indium, and we'll throw that in, I guess, up here. And so that is that quest complete. And then let's do the exact same thing, of course, with much more white antimatter, but this time with sulfur. And again, hopefully we have enough sulfur to do this. Again, I got like, I guess 3. We'll go for 4 stacks. And see if that's enough. It is. Nice. Okay, cool. So that should be everything, I believe, for those quests. It is. Cool. And then the last quest here before we get to the machine frame itself is, of course, the tin gear. And unlike in some mod packs where you can just craft 4 tin into a tin gear, here we either need a compactor, which in and of itself requires a machine frame, which requires a tin gear, so we can't do that just yet. Or we can do it in the smelter with a gear cast, which is, of course, exactly what we are going to do. So let's grab the 3 tin that we have there, and then I guess let's also go ahead and make all of this into tin. And in fact, we do need 4 tin gears, which means we're going to need at least 16 tin ingots here. So I feel like we might as well go ahead and, first of all, dump some of this stuff back in here, but also turn like basically all of our, or a good chunk of our tin ore into tin ingots here. There we go, that's 16 ingots. So basically, I think all we need to do here is we'll throw all 16 ingots in, like so. We also need to throw in 2 more gold because we do have to make a new cast. And we are going to have to get either like a wood or a stone gear to put in the casting table, much like we did with the pickaxe head at the end of the last stream. So I'm going to assume that if we get 4 sticks, we can do something like this. We totally can. And I'm also going to assume that if we pull gold over that, that is going to make us a gear cast. It's not. Okay, so it looks like we might have to make a stone version, which is totally fine. The stone gear is really not too difficult to make. It does require some actual stone there instead of cobblestone, but again, not a problem. We can grab some silicon dioxide, which we have in abundance, and I think it's a 1-to-1 ratio there, right? Yeah, so if we just do something like that, that gets us the final 2 stone. Boom, boom, and boom. And then if we try the exact same thing here, hopefully that does work. It does indeed. And that should hopefully, chat, allow us to make 4 tin gears here fairly easily, at which point getting the machine frame is not going to be a problem, and it might not be too difficult for us to make all of these machines. Of course, the compactor is going to allow us to make gears much more easily going forward. Excuse me. Okay, you might have to take the cast out and kind of do it again if it's not working there. But yeah, these machines might not be too bad. The compactor allowing us to make more gears. The phytogenic insulator allows us to automate farming inside of the block there, which is pretty interesting. The pulverizer, of course, used for breaking down certain resources into their like powdered forms. And then the induction smelter required to move on to some of the next quests here, because we have a quest to make 48 steel, 10 million redstone flux, and 1,000 buckets of water. All of these are quests that allow us to progress on to the scarab here, which allows us to move on to the tomb dimension. So we'll see how that goes in just a second. Let's grab all of these. Let's also dump quite a bit of the stuff that we have in our inventory here into the system, because boy, do we have a lot of it. And given that we know that we're going to need glass, I feel like we might as well go ahead and start smelting that up now. All right, there we go, 4 gears. Nice. So that is this quest complete. Like I said, getting the 4 machine frames now really is just a matter of getting 16 glass, which shouldn't be a problem for us. We do have 16 sand in here. 4 glass is already done. We will take some of the apples that I was cooking up earlier out of here and begin putting up some sand as well. And that should basically be everything. Yeah. I think for now, we don't really need any of these 3 machines. So I think for now, we will focus on kind of these quests here. We can always come back to these, especially given the fact that I think we're going to have to set up like a little bit of automation, right? Like 10 million redstone flux, it's doable, and it's not going to be out of our reach, but it means we're going to have to like set up a display screen to hand in the quest, and we're going to have to just kind of fill these with carbon or coal and kind of get that, going, right? It's going to take a little while for that quest to complete, so we should probably start that and then come back to the other quests when we have the time. For now, though, machine frame, I believe we do have everything it takes to make 4 of those. Oh no, I'm a fool, chat. We need 8 of each, right? I got 4 of each. We need 8 of each. So we need another 2 indium ingots and another 2 scandium ingots. That is my bad. That is a lot of white antimatter. Okay, let me grab like all of this. That is so much white antimatter. My goodness. All right. So some more indium and scandium ingots later, and I think we do now finally have what it takes to make the final 2 machine frames. We do. Nice. And there we go. Quest complete. Beautiful. Okay. So, like I said, I think we're going to go this way first because we're going to make the Aqueous accumulator from thermal expansion, which is going to allow us to finally automate the pumping of water into our evaporators, at which point we can also look at using some of the item ducts that we've been given to automatically pull out all of the salt as well to fully automate the process of making salt and hopefully have a lot of that going forward for when we need it. And then we can also look at submitting this 1,000 buckets quest for water. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, induction, smelter. Let me unbookmark all of the smeltery stuff over here. And let me bookmark the induction smelter real quick. So for this, we of course need a machine frame. We need 2 sand, 2 copper gears, 1 redstone reception coil, which is gold and a redstone, 2 arsenic ingots, which are made with arsenic, which is made from arsenic sulfide? And or from crushed arsenic. I don't think the game wants us to make a rock crusher just yet, although we could crush andesite for that. Arsenic sulfide comes from pink dye. Okay, cool. Pink dye is, like bone meal and red dye, I guess, is the easiest way for us to get that, presumably. Bone meal we do have. I guess we could also get some pink tulips there. That wouldn't be a problem either. But yeah, I think rose red, which we can get from beets, right? Yeah, and then bone meal, which we can get from bones, which we do have. How many bones do we have? Not a ton. We got 2 and then 2 there. So beets are really not going to be a problem for us, of course. We've got a bunch of them, both in the system and... did we take them out of our storage drawers? Yeah, we did. So we got a bunch of them in the system, and we can, of course, get more if we want. Let's see if we get enough here. We can always get more bones if we need to. That gets us 16 pink dye, which does get us a stack of this arsenic sulfide, which I think is going to be enough, right? We need 32 arsenic, and you get 4 per arsenic sulfide. Yeah, so we just needed, yeah, this is more than enough. I'm going to keep some of this, actually, just in case we need it for something else, even though we could, of course, reassemble it if we wanted to. And yeah, there we go. That is more than enough. Perfect. All right. So that is that bit taken care of. As far as aluminum goes, we do need to make aluminum gear, which is 4 aluminum ingots. There is an alloying recipe here, so we need glowstone, silver, and tin. If we combine all of those up in the smeltery, we get molten aluminum. So glowstone we should have. I think it's over in here. Okay, so 1 glowstone dust is 250 millibuckets, which is 144 millibuckets, which I believe is 1 ingot's worth. So I'm pretty sure that we need 4 glowstone here to get 4 ingots. So 4 glowstone. I think we might need like 4 tin, and then like nowhere near that much silver. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4. And you can't put glowstone in directly, eh? That is unfortunate. In that case, then, what are we doing to get energized glowstone? Do we need to make a magma crucible? That's not going to be a problem, I don't think. Magma crucible. It looks like a fairly easy recipe, actually. The only thing we're missing is the reception coil. I'll make 2 of these because we need 1 for the induction smelter as well. And then as far as 2 copper gears goes, that really shouldn't be a problem for us. We have surprisingly less copper than I would like. Do we have a bunch of copper over here? We do. Cool. So I'll take some of this and we'll turn those into ingots. That is 1. And any second now, that should also be 2. Nice. All right. So I'm pretty sure that's everything for the magma crucible. It is. Nice. And so I'm fairly certain that what we could do here, if we wanted to, I think you can probably pump directly into the smelt tray. So if I was to, for example, grab my culinary generator and put this down like here for a second and put like an apple in there, that's going to provide power to this. And then if we put in the 1 glowstone, that's going to turn the glowstone dust into energized glowstone, at which point we have set the right-hand side to output, and we have auto output enabled, so it should push that energized glowstone directly into the smeltery controller. And again, if we need 4 ingots, that's 4 glowstone dust, so we'll put the other 3 in there as well. It's a little slow, but it will get there. We do have a few quests here, chat, that we have yet to claim, especially in the side quest category. We have the deal some damage quest, which wants us to deal 500 damage, which we have done. And as a reward, we get a diamond sword. And then we have the kill 100 mobs quest, which we have also done. And as a reward, we get the growth crystal tier 2 from Tiny Progressions. Fast growth, works on a 9x9 farm, checks up to 5 blocks, up or down, can be used as a water source. So I'm pretty sure that it says it can be used as a water source. I think we could put this like right here. And then that will increase the growth speed of like these crops. Obviously, it's not super useful for stuff like this because it's not automated. And of course, we can use our shift ability to make it faster on its own. But later on down the line, as we look at, fully automating our farming, I think that thing is going to come in very useful indeed. We can also, I guess, while we wait for this very slow machine, take a look at what we're going to need to make the Aqueous accumulator, because we know that's the next quest in the quest line here. So the Aqueous accumulator, again, doesn't seem too bad. A bucket, 2 iron gears, 2 glass, 1 redstone servo, and then a device frame. The device frame has, once again, had its recipe tweaked. This requires 2 manganese ingots and then 2 osmium ingots. So manganese, we can get from magma blocks. We can also get it from granite and diorite. And in fact, we did do a ton of granite processing before. And so in fact, I think we should have a good deal of manganese. We got 14. I don't think I would classify that as a good deal. If we're going to make just the 1 device frame, we do need 32 manganese, so we're going to have to get a little bit more of that. I guess the diorite, not really a high percentage chance there. Yeah, 6.25, not super high. We can use magenta antimatter, which has a slightly higher chance. Let me run a few of, like a stack of these magma blocks through here. How much manganese does that get us? That gets us like half a stack of manganese, which is not terrible. That takes up to 46. And so I think I might just go ahead and run another stack of magma blocks through here. We do have quite a few of these, and we can get more, from the nether. They are quite abundant. So that should be more than enough to get 2 ingots worth. And then as far as osmium goes, what do we need for osmium? Diorite, osmium ingots, or diorite. So we're going to need a bunch of diorite. It is a 7% chance. It goes up to 10 if you polish it, which is not too bad. And you can, of course, make diorite with silicon dioxide. And so I think much like with our... There's a manganese quest, but much like with the granite from last episode, I think we are just going to have to grab like a bunch of our silicon dioxide and kind of just run that through here, right? If we set this to diorite, lock the recipe, and then just start pumping this in. How much gold do we have is a good question I have, because I think we could upgrade this speedy hopper to a tier 2 speedy hopper. Because although the tier 1 speedy hopper is quite speedy, it's not quite speedy enough, I don't think. Also, I'm fairly certain we have some gold lying around over here. Only 8, though. That's fine. We can use our gold ore, of course. And in fact, we actually have 9 gold ingots. And boom. Nice. All right, so yeah, we'll throw all of the silicon dioxide in there, and even more up here, I guess. And we'll start making a bunch of diorite there. Fantastic. So over here, we do now have the 4 lumium ingots. So that is our lumium gear taken care of. We've also got a ton of diorite now. We will go ahead and polish all of it, and I feel like it's going to be faster if we do that in here. Beautiful. And so I'm hoping that's definitely more than enough. Diorite. So if we run all that through our dissolver, do we get anywhere near enough osmium? How much do we need again? 32? It looks like it should be more than enough. Like, I think we might have gone overkill with the diorite there. Like, we're almost halfway there, and we still have yet more diorite that we can put in. So that is all good. The lumium gear is taken care of. And so I think, chat, we're pretty much there. That should be the induction smelter almost done. We do need 2 sand, which is just some silicon dioxide. And then we also need, of course, and actually we're fully out of silicon dioxide, but that's fine. We do have nether quartz. And actually we have silicon dioxide right there, so I can unlock. And I think sand was here. It is, nice. But yeah, we also need 2 more copper gears. So let's also go and grab some more copper. So boom and boom. There is our induction smelter. And then I believe that we can go straight in here with an aqueous accumulator. So device frame is basically done. It does appear that we're going to need a little bit in the way of glass, but thankfully Isaac of the past is on it. And we are also going to need 1 more copper gear, which is also not going to be a problem. We have 4 copper right there. Let's just go quickly smelt that up. And yeah, let's get our reward. Here we get 64 sand and 10 task screens. So the task screens are going to be used to complete these quests. For example, if we were to come over and let's say put down a task screen right here where, I guess maybe like, wait, plus MBT, 3x3. Oh, there we go. Oh, it defaults down as a 3x3. Interesting. Okay, so it's a task screen. And then in here, we can go and select the task. We're going to select the 10 million FE task and tick. So now you'll see it's energy sacrifice. The quest says, we must give an offering of great power to the gods of Atum if we wish for them to teach us how to create the key to their realm. Now would be a good time to scale up energy production. So I'm pretty sure. Let me try like breaking and replacing this. Yeah, that should connect. And then we should begin to see this quest ticking up. Yeah, you can see there that we're slowly but surely ticking this quest here. So these guys currently, I believe, produce 40 redstone flux per tick. Let me check that though. Yeah, so right now we're producing 80 redstone flux per tick between the two, which works out to 1,600 redstone flux per second. So if we do 10 million divided by 1,600, that's 6,250 seconds, which divided by 60 is 104 minutes. So it'd take about 2 hours with this current power setup if we were going to fill this screen here. So we might want to look at upping our power situation. Before we do that, though, let me quickly go and grab that copper gear over here. So we can make our Aqueous accumulator, because we do also have to set up another quest here to submit 1,000 millibuckets of water. Perfect. Boom. And boom. Nice. So this guy is pretty nifty. It allows you to automatically kind of create water and then pump it out. So for example, if we were to reorganize our ground a little bit here, I think we are going to have to switch back. Actually, I guess we don't have to switch back. I was going to say we have to switch back to a 3x3, or sorry, a 3x1 water source, but I think you can actually just do this, and this will start filling with water. Yeah, and then from there, we can begin pumping that water into a task screen. Obviously, eventually, we're going to pump it into the evaporators, but for now, to get the quest complete, let's put that down here, and then if we go in here, we have water for Atum. It says, the gods of Atum require a great tribute of water to quench their thirst. Maybe if you give them water, they will let you into their realm. Please do not submit 1,000 buckets manually. I only say this because it's happened before. Please use the fluid ducts or similar fluid transport to pump fluids into the task screen, of course. So in here, once again, we're going to select the task. We're going to go 1,000 buckets of water and a tick. And then if we come over here and use the provided fluid ducts, I actually thought they'd given us fluid ducts. It looks like they haven't, and that's fine. They have given us servos, and we can make fluid ducts fairly easily. We're going to go with these ones because they look nicer, I think. Do we have copper? Of course we do. It's in all form though, so we'll run that through here. And then, of course, through here. We only need 2. With sand, or glass. Boom. And then if we take those and do something like this. In fact, I think you might be able to set this to auto-eject. Yeah, it does auto-eject. Nice. Okay, cool. So that is going to take a little while, not quite as long. You can see we're already at like 10 out of 1,000 buckets there, so we're already like 1% through, so that shouldn't be too bad whatsoever. The final quest, oh, it does give us fluid ducts. That's my bad, chat. But the final quest that we have yet to complete here, and that gets us to the gods of Atum smile upon you, is steel. Forge 48 steel ingots. They will be consumed. Okay, so steel ingots can be made in the induction smelter with iron and pulverized coal. I'm just checking to see if you do have to pulverize the coal. It does look like you do have to pulverize the coal. There are, of course, 2 ways we could do that. We could hand grind it if we wanted to, but I think that most certainly we probably want to go with a pulverizer, which, you know, of course, is a quest. And so I think that makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think it's going to be too bad. Like, getting 48 iron really isn't going to be a problem. And getting enough coal, also, I don't think is going to be too bad. So I guess let's unbookmark the induction smelter, and then let's quickly bookmark the pulverizer here. I'm assuming that the recipe is, yeah, pretty much the same. So we need 2 potassium ingots. Potassium we can get, of course, from our potatoes, which we do now have a fair number of. Let's go ahead and dissolve those in here. I guess it's a good amount of potassium, but we do have still more over there if we want more potatoes in the future. And then presumably we can just throw those in over here, and that's going to get potassium ingots. It does indeed. Fantastic. Other than that, we do need 2 more copper gears, but again, that is not going to be a problem. It is making me think that we should definitely also look at completing that other quest for the compactor, as well as the gear working augment to allow it to make gears, because we're needing to use a lot of the smeltery, which is not terrible, but the smeltery is not particularly fast either. So it would be nice if we could, move on from that. For now, though, we will go ahead and make more gears here for, or more copper here for yet more gears. In fact, compact. How hard is this to make? I think we might start with the compactor. Like, it's a quest anyway. So if we put all 8 gears in here, that's going to get us the 2 copper gears. Magnesium we do have, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, we've got 174 magnesium here, so getting 2 magnesium ingots for the compactor is not going to be a problem. But that's going to make getting the subsequent gears for the pulverizer a lot easier. And just any other gears that we're going to need going forward, it's going to make those easier as well. So yeah, I think we'll pivot slightly, and we'll try and do the compactor first, and then the pulverizer. So I did accidentally make the pulverizer first there, but we do now have basically everything that it takes to make the compactor as well. Do we have what it takes to make the gear working die augment? I think we might. The piston we can, of course, make. The redstone server we can also make. The iron gear is, of course, 4 iron in the smeltery. And then the lead plates, I believe we're also going to have to make in the smeltery. Oh, no, you can make it in the compactor itself. Okay, that's good to know. So we got 2 lead. And if we start putting these down, let's grab some flux ducts, I guess. And for now, we'll just do like a line of machines over here, I think. Let's put down the compactor first. And let's start making those lead plates. While we wait for those, the iron gear should be almost ready to go. These guys are also done, but the way that the compactor is set up by default, it outputs to the left, so our lead plates were auto-dissolved. Let me turn off all of the outputs there. You can shift left-click, by the way, to disable all outputs at once. And then let's try that again. This time, hopefully, we can actually use the plates. We do need to add an augment to this, and to do that, we do have to upgrade the basic compactor. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there was a quest up here which gave us some upgrade kits as a reward. So I will take 2 hardened upgrade kits here, and we will go ahead and upgrade that. Now, if we open it up, it does have space for an augment. So if we take the lead plates and we craft up the gear working die, now, if we need any more gears going forward, we can go ahead and, for example, grab 4 iron, come over here, put that in, and that's just going to go ahead and make the gear. We don't have to go to the smelter. We don't have to wait for it to smelt up. We don't have to pull it out, and we don't have to wait for it to cool down once it's been pulled out. It's still not the fastest in the world, and we could upgrade it further to make it faster in the future, but for now, I think it is substantially faster than the smeltery, which is good in my book. So that is that bit taken care of. Steel is, of course, what we were working on next. So for steel, we're going to go pulverizer here. Again, we'll turn off the outputs here. We'll make sure the output is on the right-hand side. And then we're going to have the induction smelter here as well. And then for this one, we're going to make sure the input is on the left. So any coal that we pulverize in here should then be sent out over into the induction smelter. And then in the induction smelter, we're of course going to put some iron in there as well. And so that should, slowly but surely, produce steel. We do need 48 steel. And I am quite tempted to put the other upgrade kit on there. They're not that expensive. It's 1 bronze gear, which is just copper and tin, 2 redstone, and then 4 invar, invar being iron and nickel, all of which we do have. And so you know what? It might be a better idea, actually, to put it on the pulverizer, maybe? Because I think the pulverizer is going to be the thing that slows us down here. So you know what? Sure, let's do that. And then if we want to make the pulverizer, that does by the default make the pulverizer faster. It uses more power, and it is a little bit faster than it was before, but it does also give it that augment slot there. And so we can make a reception coil augment, which in turn, if we have enough gold, is going to speed it up even further. So right now it's using 30 RF per tick. If we put this guy in here, it's going to go up to 60. So it doubles. That does start to put us in a bit of a tricky predicament, because it means we're producing 80. Over here, actually, we're producing 0 right now, but we do have 2 million backed up. We're producing 80, and we're using 80, not including the compactor, or the dissolver, or the combiner. I think that's honestly going to be fine for now. Let's claim our rewards here. Oh, we actually get 2 hardened upgrade kits as a reward there. Nice. Oh, look at that. Our water quest is also complete. Beautiful. There is 4 diamonds. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I think we might go one step further here and upgrade the Speedy Hopper 2 to a Speedy Hopper 3. Because you can see it's still not quite... Like, it is putting the items in, but we could be still yet faster. And given that we do have quite a few diamonds now, I think we can go right up to the 3rd tier of Speedy Hopper. That is much nicer. Cool. So that should be more than enough iron in there. Yeah, now it's just more coal that we need. Right now we have 55 coal. I'm told by the Twitch chat we need 3 stacks. So that's approximately 2 stacks. But we can take our 506 carbon here. And as soon as it's done with all the iron, which it is almost done, we can start looking at turning this into coal. I think it is 8 to 1. Yeah. So if we wanted a stack of coal, we need 8 stacks of carbon. Which we almost have. We've got like just shy of 8 stacks of carbon. Oh no, never mind. There we go. Nice. And yeah, that steel is probably going to be the easier of the 3 recipes. The water's done. The energy sacrifice is definitely going to be the hardest. And again, it's not really particularly difficult. It's just going to take a while. Over here, we can now take down the task screen. That's no longer needed. And we could, if we wanted to, move these evaporators. I think I will make one more evaporator here, mostly just for symmetry. So the evaporator is just stone, right? Yeah, which is just silicon dioxide. How much silicon dioxide do we have? 128. Perfect. Okay. That coal is done. Beautiful. We'll take that out and we'll get that going over here. And I think that should be close to enough for all 48 steel. We can come back and check on that in a second, though. As for this, I want to make stone. And we need, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 stone, I think, here. So 20 is definitely enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And boom. Nice. Yeah, and then we'll grab the fluid ducts. And then we'll just do something like this. So that is going to auto-fill up all of our evaporators. And then from there, if we grab some of the item ducts that we were given earlier and combine that up with our servo, and then let's go ahead and I guess make like our first non-2x2 storage door. Like this. And I think all we'll do here is we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's not going to be symmetrical at all, but for now I'm going to put this down like right here. And I really would prefer it if it faced forward. I think for that I have to put like a block down underneath, like this. There we go. So that should hopefully, if we use some more servos, actually, we need more than one. Yeah, let's take the 4 hardened servos, I guess, and let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to make sure all of these are set to ignore redstone signal so that they can auto pull out all of the salt. And that salt should get sent around directly over into the storage drawer. Nice. So we have basically automated our salt production there. So if we ever need more sodium going forward, we have access to it. Do we have upgrades? We do. I might as well go ahead and put these in here. They're just kind of not really doing much in our system. So people did suggest potentially utilizing lava power. We do have access to both a magmatic generator from Extra Utilities 2 and the magmatic dynamo from thermal expansion, both of which are able to turn lava into power. So yeah, the downside of the magmatic generator, it is the easiest to make because we can take off pre-existing furnace generators and upgrade them with gold, lava, and redstone, but unfortunately, these produce the same amount of power. They still just produce 40 redstone flux per tick, whereas the dynamo from thermal expansion can be upgraded with conversion kits or upgrade kits like we just made for our pulverizer and our compactor. And you can use augments with that as well to make these produce more power. So I think this might not be a bad idea. It's basically all Invar with some iron and redstone and a bit of silver there. And Invar is just nickel and iron. So that might not be a bad idea. I'm assuming we can't make the Invar really in any other way right now other than... Oh, I guess maybe... Can you make nickel and iron blend with... You totally can. Yeah, I think to avoid using the smeltery, just because the smeltery is somewhat slow. I think what I might do here is kind of grab this iron, and then instead of turning the iron into ingots, we'll turn the iron into dust. We can then craft that with some nickel dust. You know, we can do it in the exact same way. We have nickel ore here. We can break that down, turn that into nickel dust. If we then craft those together into Invar and then smelt that, I think that's going to be faster than utilizing the smeltery. So yeah, we can just take both of these. We can do something like this. Gets a bunch of Invar. We can smelt that in our slightly faster iron furnace over here. And yeah, we should be basically good to go here. So let's get even more Invar. We'll take you. Over here we have our first Invar gear. I will make a second one. We should now have what it takes to make a magmatic dynamo if we want. Yeah, we need 2 Invar, which we're going to get in a second. It's being smelted. The silver, and I will make, I think, more than one of these if we can. Actually, we'll start with one. We can always make a second one if we, you know, don't like the power production. Or, you know, we can always not make a second one if we can make a second one if we like the power production. We can not make a second one if we don't like the power production. Let's go ahead and throw that down like right about there. We are going to need to get the crescent hammer to rotate that, I think. Like that. And then, yeah, this guy just turns lava into a power. By default, it does produce 40 redstone flux per tick. However, if we grab the old upgrade kit here, and there are higher tiers of upgrade kit as well, but by default, that one bumps it up to 60. And then if we were to get the auxiliary transmission coil, you'll see there it says increases the power generation of dynamos. It does require quite a bit more silver, so we are going to end up using the silver after all. That should hopefully make our dynamo just a little bit faster. Yeah, now it's up to 120 redstone flux per tick, so it's producing, you know, almost double what these two are producing combined. And if we wanted to, let's have a look. Upgrade kit. I don't think we can quite make the reinforced one yet, although I assume we can make hardened glass now, right? Usually, the recipe for hardened glass is obsidian and lead. Our steel is done, by the way, so we'll go ahead and hand that in. And we get 4 emerald storage upgrades, which are the highest here. They increase the base storage value by 32 times, which is huge. By default, these can hold up to 512 of any given item. 512 multiplied by 32 is 16,384. So it allows you to hold up to 16,000 of any one element if you put these in. So we could, for example, come over here, you know, drop one of those in, take that out, and then maybe do something like that just to move it to the front. So now we can hold up to 16,000 hydrogen and 16,000 oxygen without having to worry about it. And we could put even more in if we wanted to as well. Of course, to power this, we do need some lava. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to make a tank. Much like the machines from thermal expansion, which is where the tank is from as well. You can upgrade the tank also with augments. And so we can increase the kind of capacity of the tank if we want. It looks like we are once again out of glass, but we do have a good amount of sand. And we can probably hit pause on the Invar for a second there. Okay, so there's a portable tank. And once again, if we grab the hardened upgrade kit, and we do you and you, this guy can now hold more millibuckets. I'm actually not quite sure what the exact number is. 80 buckets worth. So by default, I think it could hold 20. And now it can hold 80, which is very nice indeed. If we have our reservoir on us, and in fact, we can actually get our dynamo going here. If we do something like that, that should kickstart the machine there and hopefully start getting us some more power in this quest line. It is indeed perfect. And yeah, let me do a check here, chat, because I think if we take some lead and if we take some obsidian, we can make some hardened glass. And I think we can probably fairly easily make the next tier of upgrade kit, that being the reinforced one here. Electrum is just gold and silver. And now that our... we need to... I need to spend a bit of time, I think, going through and getting like a good number of all the resources. Like we have all the ores. I think before next stream, I might do a little bit more mining, but I'll also spend, I think, a bit of time running all of the ores, you know, through the chemical dissolver and then through the combiner. Because we have the resources. It just... Every single time I have to craft something, I have to keep going back and, you know, making all of the stuff because we don't have it. But over here, we can now use this to make us that electrum. I think we only need 2 of each, actually, because I think you get 2 electrum from 1 gold and 1 silver. Yeah. So that should be fine. And we've got the 4 silver for the gear. We just need hardened glass. Hardened glass. Hardened glass you can make in the induction smelter with pulverized lead and pulverized obsidian. So pulverized lead we can, of course, make from regular lead. Over in here. And obsidian dust is really just as simple as pulverizing some obsidian. And again, that should also go into here. So we put the pulverized lead in there. That should go over and should make hardened glass, at which point the reinforced upgrade is basically good to go. And we should definitely look, actually. Upgrade kits. We should also have what it takes now, I think, to make more of the first tier. Yeah, because I'm going to upgrade this guy as well. He's a little slow. And I would very much prefer if he was a little faster. Perfect. 2, I'm pretty sure, is all we need. And so long as we can make a silver gear here. That, oh, of course, we have to make that in our compactor. That's fine. But as soon as we have that, we're good for another upgrade, actually. We can put another one of these transmission coil upgrades in there. That is, of course, going to increase the amount of lava that the magma generator uses, but it's also going to increase our power production quite a bit as well. Already up to 160, and if we go and make another dynamo augment, which of course does require more silver than we have in our system, but we do have silver ready to go. So coil, augment, and how much are we making now? We are making 240 redstone flux per tick. You can see it is somewhat quickly tanking through the lava there, but that is fine. Completely fine. And in fact, it's kind of making me think that we should maybe go and make another one of these augments here for our tank. Because the plan is, of course, to go through to the Nether, fill this tank up with as much lava as we possibly can, and then put it down, pumping into the magmatic dynamo there to hopefully, continue to produce power for a good deal of time. And boom. Okay. So yeah, let's upgrade this guy. This can now hold, I think, 160 buckets of lava. 180 buckets of lava. Twitch chat has also pointed out you can, of course, upgrade your reservoir as well, which is going to make my life a little easier if we do something like this. That gets us a reservoir that can hold 40 buckets. And then if we have the stuff for it, which I think we do, if we do this and this and get like 2 more electrum here, yeah, that's going to be enough to upgrade to a yet higher tier. Nice. Because I think, ideally, this can now hold 90 buckets. So not quite as many. But ideally what we can do is we'll take our first trip, with the tank, and we'll fill it up. We're then going to come back. We're going to put this down here. You can right-click with a crescent hammer to output mode, so it'll auto-pump its lava in. But then in the future, if we want to fill it up, we can just go to the Nether with our reservoir, fill the reservoir up, bring it back, and then just dump 90 buckets of lava into here to keep our system going. And again, I think that's going to be a much better source of power than what we have here. And given that it's much, much faster, this was producing 80, this is now producing 240, which is 3 times as much power. That should hopefully get this done much, much quicker, right? So we can, of course, just go ahead and, for now, put this guy down, right here. Make sure this is set to fill mode. Begin filling this up with as much lava as we can carry, really. Someone did suggest in the YouTube comments doing /set home right here so we spawn in the water, which I think is definitely worth it. Quest completed, you should take a break. Time played, 720,000 ticks, I assume? I get 32 Bam's Pineapple Pizza. Well, thank you, game. The heck? It's lava time. That's the lava time bell. You know what time it is, chat? It's lava time. Yeah, because this can hold twice as much as this can, so we can do like 2 full reservoirs worth here. So yeah, there is 180 buckets worth of lava. So if we take those back home, we can of course go ahead and plonk that down right about here. Make sure it's set to output, so you just right-click with a crescent hammer. And yeah, that should continually produce 240 redstone flux per tick for this guy. So previously it was going to take about 100 minutes, 104 minutes, I believe. And so now with this being, 3 times faster at power production, it should take about 34 minutes for this to fill up and complete the quest. I guess while we wait for that to do its thing, chat, we can take a look at basically the final few quests here. We have a quest. Well, these are the final quests, I guess, but we have some kind of side quests over here to make the accumulator and to get a drop of evil. Presumably the idea here being that we can make a cursed earth mob farm, which I think shouldn't be too difficult. I do know that we have vector plates in the pack from Dark Utilities. These can be used to push mobs to a specific location. And then we have like spikes as well from extra utilities, which can be used to kill mobs if we wanted to get their loot. And then, of course, the accumulator can be used to collect all of that loot. I don't think we'll end up making a actual mob farm today, or maybe do that in the next stream, but we can definitely get the items for it. So the accumulator is very similar in its recipe to the Aqueous accumulator. It is going to mean that we have to get a little bit more in the way of osmium, which we were getting from diorite. Thankfully, we did make extra polished diorite earlier, so we can begin running that through over here, and hopefully get enough osmium to make 2 more ingots, because we're actually pretty close on everything else. Like, we already have the manganese there. We can, of course, make copper and iron gears in our compactor now, so hopefully that's going to be a good deal faster than it was before. All right, so there is another device frame, and I believe that we might have everything it takes here to make this guy. Yeah, we just need another servo, and boom, accumulator. Nice. So this guy is pretty cool. Essentially, it will pick up any item dropped in the area in front of it. So if I were to drop this osmium here, it's going to go ahead and pick it up. You know, we could drop all kinds of stuff. I think it's got a pretty wide range, maybe like 8 blocks or so in front of it. You can, I believe, shift right click to kind of toggle a whitelist or blacklist. So we could, for example, whitelist, let's say pulverized lead, at which point if we drop the osmium, it's not going to pick it up. But if we drop the lead, it is going to pick it up, which is pretty neat. So it's really cool for picking up specific resources and also just any resource in general. So what we can do is we can have that, of course, pick up all of the drops from our Cursed Earth mob farm. And if we're going to get a Cursed Earth mob farm, we need a drop of evil. It says right-click on dirt and it will turn it into Cursed Earth, which force spawns overpowered mobs. Very useful for making a mob farm. So drops of evil in this pack you can get in 2 ways. The default way that you get it is by killing wither skeletons. It's a small percentage drop chance, but it is possible. 1%, it says right there. The other way is via the chemical combiner. You can combine 4 stacks of carbon with 4 stacks of sulfur and 8 gunpowder. Gunpowder can be made with sulfur, carbon, and potassium nitride. I think I'm probably going to attempt the former. Like, I'm going to go and try and kill some wither skeletons here, I think, and see if that works for us. We could always come back and try the last one if it doesn't. I hear the rattling of bones. Hello, bone man. Drop of evil? No, wishful thinking. Let's open these. Okay. I don't know if that was a sensible thing to do given our current inventory space, although we can go ahead and drop all of those in here for now. Just to free up a little bit of inventory space. So there's our spawner. Guess I'm gonna head back this way. We'll do a little bit more killing, chat. I don't want to spend, days down here. I'll give a few more a try. Hey, there we go. Nice. Okay, so that is the drop of evil taken care of. Good stuff, good stuff. And we get some dirt as a reward there. Perfect. Not that we necessarily needed it. And so, yeah, we're basically almost there. I guess we can actually, if we were being smart about this, chat, speed up the power even more so by running this this ATRF as well. Like, it's not obviously as much as the generator over there, but it is extra passive power that we can use. And if we wanted to, we could even go ahead and start putting, some hydrogen over in this chest as well. We did get rid of the hopper that we had here previously. And so for now, if we do want to extract from there, we are going to have to use a servo, but that is fine. We can put that here, set that to extract, and ignore redstone signals. Let's just start putting hydrogen in when it's out of coal. Beautiful. And yeah, that should make this just a little bit faster. So there is a quest to visit the coordinates X69, Z69, Y169. Oh, we can't quite get up that high, eh? I see there are like notches on this. I don't know if we can get to one of those notches using our slime sling. Oh, it's just a little off, eh? Just a little off. We can, however, do something like this. And there we go. Nice. Look at that. We get a rabbit trophy as well. We have killed 1 out of 20 ghasts. And there's also a quest to play for 1.4 million ticks, which we're about halfway towards. It says, please, I beg of you. All right. Well, I think, chat, that's probably where I'm going to wrap up today's stream. Next time, we'll come back. We will almost certainly have this quest complete. Like, this should be done within the next, 15, 20 minutes or so. And we've definitely got enough lava, I think, for that to be completed. So we'll come back. Hopefully that is done. That should unlock us the recipe for the scarab, however that is made. It does tell us how demon ingots are made, so presumably we have to get some demon ingots for the scarab. And then we can head on through. It does say kill 2 pharaohs. It looks like there might be some more combat. So I think what we'll do next stream is we'll look at getting some of the armor from the Tinker's Construct add-on that lets us make armor. I was hoping to get around to do that today, but we've alas run out of time. So we'll come back. We will hopefully make some armor with that manual in, the cobalt highlight that I got at the start of the stream. And we'll also finish up this quest over here. And then we'll look at moving on into this 4th quest line, getting into some deep mob learning, progressing through there. Like I said, between episodes, I'll probably do a bunch more mining and actually, run all of the ores through into ingots. So hopefully in the next stream, we don't have to spend quite so much time, turning all of our ores into elements and then all of our elements into ingots. That took up way more time than it needed to today. But yeah, for now, guys, thank you for watching.